Okay, so I'm out in the shop again. There definitely is some madness to my method. And yes, it is a wreck. Currently, it is a wreck. It is a complete, utter chaos. I'm getting things wrapped up and moved around. I'm trying to fix things that the previous owner left me and make some changes to update the shop for myself. It's ridiculously hot here in the Richmond, Virginia area. We're in the upper 90s, almost to 100, setting record temperatures. And I'm going to be working on the shop. And as you notice, one thing I did was took out all the insulation. Surprisingly, the shop was, relatively cool, considering there was no insulation. The only thing that's been running all day is the attic fan. I do have an air conditioner in the wall over there. And that air conditioner is a good unit for the size of room that I have here. But I'm going to be replacing that with a mini split system because I think it will be better. Will also give me heat in the winter time and cool in the summer, and it'll give me a good, it's going to be a proper HVAC system instead. So right now the shop looks terrible. It's really not that bad. Most of what's in the middle here is insulation and more insulation and more insulation and more insulation. I've taken down all the pegboard over there. I'm in the process of wiring in more plugs and adding plugs and taking away plugs. So I'm going to evenly space them out. As you can see, I've started to add in some plug boxes where I'm going to space them out around the shop so I have power just about anywhere that I need to have it. I'm going to have my powder coating oven over there in the corner, my powder coating spray booth probably here in the middle somewhere. I'm probably going to take my sandblasting cabinet outside because sandblasting just makes a huge mess, and that's how it is. So one of the things that I'm doing is also I'm going to be creating some space in here for making. So in doing my powder coating business, all of that's going to be in the corner over there, and it'll kind of be cordoned off to where it's more out of the way. I'm going to get my oven out of the doorway. I'm going to move the door, turn it around to where it opens properly. What that's going to do is that's going to allow me the space to add the rest of my business over here, my vinyl cutting business and my laser, with the part of my business that I do with my laser, and I add that to both the powder coating and doing vinyl graphics and whatnot. And the biggest thing I'm hoping that I'm going to have here is I'm going to have some space in the middle here, because I'm going to put a bench over there with some shelves, and I'm going to have open shelving, because to me cabinets eat things like tools and accessories and supplies and hardware and stuff, so I'm going to not do it that way. But what it's going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me this open space in the middle, which will also give me access to work on the Velomobiles, to work on the Trikes, and I'll have space that I can take care of that. Because one of the things that I've done, I've poured this pad and ramp back here, and I'm in no way, shape, or form done. This is going to be really cool, but I was able to bring my lawnmower out here. My compressor was already out here, but now it's got a pad that it can sit on, and it's bolted to. I'm eventually going to raise the roof of this back here to match the roof line of the actual shop, and then I'm going to enclose this to add security to it. So those are some of the upgrades I'm making to the shop, and I'm doing that so I can get to work on other things that I like to do, like the bikes and trikes, and take care of the things that I need. This little duck family, it's really kind of fun. When my son got married a few weeks ago, this duck family showed up a couple of days before or after the wedding. I can't remember, right around the time. And they keep coming back every day to visit us, asking for food. And so we give them some bird food and things like that every once in a while. And they come back, and they don't mind working with me. When I was pouring the concrete out back, they were working with me all the time, talking to me and having a good time. It was actually kind of fun. So that's where I am with the updates. And I'm just going to be working out here getting this knocked out. Okay, so I'm back out in the shop today. I'm not riding today because I'm really sore. I just spent a few days being unwell. I think it was a bout of kidney stones, but I'm not really sure if it was kidney stones or if it was something I ate, but it just wasn't a good thing. And so I'm really sore. It's kind of funny. I was feeling better today and I sneezed and all my sides just started to ache because that's what happens when you're not feeling good. You get to exercise a bunch of muscles that you don't normally exercise. Anyway, I'm going to do some updates in the shop today. So I was looking through my toolbox, and you know how it is when you're trying to find that specialty tool that you buy that tool one time, you think I may need that again later, and so you hang on to it. And I've had this tool for probably about 15, 17 years, something like that. And I knew I kept it, even though my house has aluminum siding, my shop has vinyl siding, and houses in between have not had any siding at all, other than wood or whatever, but they haven't had vinyl siding. And I had this tool that you use to take apart vinyl siding so you can just pop a piece off and replace it and put it back together. And I was looking through my tools, and of course, in one of the drawers, there it is. I'm gonna go take off some siding, and I gotta take that down to the box store and see if they have a piece or a couple of pieces that I can buy to refinish and plug the hole. Once I take that air conditioner out, I can plug the hole and then put siding on the outside. Alright, well, there's today's project done and dusted. I forgot to record all of the work that was involved in this, but we went to the Restore, and if you have a Restore in your area, they're great resources for getting used and sometimes even new items that you can use around your house, and all the proceeds go to help Habitat for Humanity. So we bought this window. It only cost me $30. It's double paned, double hung window. That means the top window can slide down as well as the bottom window can slide up. I did a little bit of construction around and about the window to get it in, cut a hole in the side of my shop, and now I've got a window in the side of my shop which will pretty much be right in front of my oven, but it will allow a lot more light to come into my shop. So that's good. It's nice. It will just open up the shop quite a bit. So that's the project for today. I'm very happy with it. I'm very pleased with the way this window works. Just, you know, it works like a regular window. If you can do it with one hand, yeah, you can. So yeah, that's it. It'll also add, on days that I want to, it'll add a nice cross ventilation on days that I open the windows. So there you go. Shop's coming together. It's been a great work day out here, and hopefully I can record more bits of it as it goes along. I did put up my first piece of sheetrock as well. So today I'm out in the shop hanging sheetrock. I finished all the trim work on the window, finished putting the back wall back together, and this just arrived. So I've got most of the lower done so far. I've got to do this wall and the front wall, but got most of it in. Alright, so I wanted to get a little bit of this in here. I did not show any of the install on this system or any of the hooking up the electrical or anything like that, because I'm not a licensed electrician, I'm not a licensed HVAC guy, yada yada yada. However, this is a DIY kit. It was not difficult to do. I did have to cut some lines and flare some lines, so if that kind of thing scares you, don't do it, but it didn't scare me at all. I mean, I used to do that on airplanes all the time, so it's not a big deal. But I can tell you, this thing, it cools quickly, and I tried the heat out. I tested out both of them too. I tried the heat and the cool, and it's gonna make the shop super nice. I mean, I was very impressed. And this is on loud. This is on loud. This is on high. This is the high fan. But I mean, I can feel it blowing out. Now, you know what? There is a turbo. Let me try the turbo. There's a turbo, because it comes with a really nice remote too. So there's a turbo. So when I need to cool down the shop fast, there's a turbo. And that's as loud as it gets. I mean, wow. Man, I'm impressed. So there it is running. That's how it sounds in the shop. That makes such a big difference over this old hunk of junk. And this is the outside unit. My audio is unaltered. It's a heat pump and I can feel warm air coming out of here, but listen to that thing. I mean, my pool pump is louder and a regular fan is louder. I'm very, very impressed, very pleased with this particular purchase. And to me, it really does seem like all of these kind of units are probably made by the same manufacturer. And so I got this one, Costway. Lots of people did some reviews on it. I watched a bazillion videos on YouTube about installing these things and running them. They're, if you don't want to evacuate lines and you don't want to do cutting of lines and things like that are scary to you, then you can go with the one that's brand name Mr. Cool, and it has refrigerant in the lines already and has quick disconnects, so you don't have to do that. But I wasn't afraid to cut some lines and hook up some lines and work with this thing. It oscillates up and down, and then I don't know if you can tell, inside there are other vents that oscillate sideways. So they move, so it throws the air up and down and around and sideways, so the air can get around the room, which is really great. I'm very, very pleased with this purchase. That worked good. When it's done, when it shuts off, the little vent on the bottom closes, so nothing gets in there. It's really kind of nice. All right, so now it turned off. Evidently it wasn't receiving me before. And that's it. All right, so now I install the sheetrock and get this shop back in shape so I can get out here and get to work on just about everything I want to. All right, onward.